here we go. So, welcome everybody. We here are Tech-It Productions, and we're an aspiring technological group, organization, whatever you want to call us. And welcome to our first podcast. We're here to talk about interesting things and all these new things in technology. My name is Blake, and I'm a high school student, and I'm really into technology and just the way that the world basically revolves around technology and how it basically models our lives. So I'm going to hand it over to Yash for him to introduce himself.
Hi, I'm Yash, and I am also a high school student. I am interested in technology, and I have a lot of technology, and I always test stuff out.
Alright, sounds cool. Now I'm going to throw it over to my bud, Cliff.
Hey, my name is Cliff. We're all high school students, and we're friends, and we know each other. And I like technology. It's cool, and I like talking about it. I mean, there's lots of cool different projects that are coming out, and that's what this whole podcast is about. Yep.
Alright, and so lastly but not least is my bud, Ami.
Hi, so I'm Amit, and I like technology. I've always liked technology. Still like that coffee, Blake?
No, it's pretty bad here, but
Welcome to Southern California.
Go Cali! But okay, so I guess what we're gonna go here now is we're just gonna go ahead and start this off with Project ARA. So I think I'm gonna throw it over to you, Cliff, and you have our discussion topic.
Right, okay. So, first of all, I don't know that much about Project ARA, so can you guys explain to me what exactly Project ARA is?
Okay, so from what I understand and what I've read online, it's basically just this group, like, project with Motorola and Google, and they came together to design a phone that you can piece by piece put together.
Okay.
Well, I mean, it wasn't Motorola that technically started it, I guess. It was Phone Blocks.
Yeah,
Is Phone Blocks a
Who
company?
they kickstarted. Yeah, they kickstarted, and they got a lot of money. So, yeah.
but then Phone Blocks kind of came up with the idea, I believe, and then Motorola was the company that actually put forth into action and said, we are going to do this. So.
Okay, so it's a phone where you can replace certain parts of it individually and stuff like that. Is that it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Don't die, Josh. So, yeah, basically it's a phone. You put different parts into it, and you make it your own.
And so is this coming out soon, or is there a deadline or something?
We don't know.
There's no, like, set, okay, it's coming out the 2nd of June, but I know that they are working on it, and they are producing and manufacturing and coming up with ideas. So hopefully it should come out sometime in the near future.
Alright, so what do you guys think about this? Like, are you in support of this project?
Yeah. I think Project ARA is awesome, and I would love to customize my own phone, and just being able to, like, either make the complete powerhouse of a phone, or a great shooter, or just a phone that has a big battery and is great for gaming and stuff like that. It's just amazing that you can do that.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. What about you, Yash? What do you have to say?
Yeah, I think it's good because it's just a new idea for new technology. It's gonna spark new ideas for others, and yeah.
So wait, let me get something clear. Like, what exactly can you replace? Is it just like the camera or the battery, or can you replace like the actual like hardware of the phone and stuff?
So
Because I'm not exactly
basically,
sure.
from what I've read and seen in photos and everything that's leaked out, basically you get this block, and it's going to be just like a plastic like block thing, and it's not going to have anything at all. And basically you're going to be able to put chips in the back, and it'll be different colors of different chips, and you can make it like that. So basically you can kind of think of it as you're buying a circuit board, and you're buying different components, and you can just like keep like stacking them on and making new tech and make your phone the way that you want it.
Oh, okay. So you can replace like the CPU to get better performance or whatever and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's
Yeah.
good.
So basically, like for me, I like taking photos with my phone because I don't like carrying a big camera around. I mean, so for me, I probably would get a good processor and a really good camera. So much the battery for me isn't that big of a deal because I'm always like indoors and stuff most of the time. So I can just plug it in, or you know, if they come out with a wireless charging, you know, just throw it down on the dock. And so I think the camera and the processor are going to be the big components for me on this device.
And that's interesting how you brought up the battery, because if you can replace the battery like instantly, then people won't use chargers as much, because like you can buy several different battery packs and just replace them as they drain out and stuff.
Exactly.
So that's
Yeah.
interesting.
Then yeah, like you're saying, and say like you have an old phone and it doesn't hold battery anymore. Yeah, that phone is waste. Basically, it's useless because you charge it for an hour and it holds it for 10 minutes. So that phone becomes scrap. With Project ARA, it basically takes that scrap part out of the equation. And so say your battery's going down, you toss your small little battery chip and you put in a new battery chip, and boom, your phone's back and working. And so you limit the waste too. So it's actually good for the environment if you want to go. Peace out to my tree huggers up there. So yeah.
So that's interesting, because people might stop buying new phones suddenly if they can just replace parts of them that they want. So what does this mean for like big retail companies like Radio Shack or anything else like that who are into actually selling actual phone models? I guess that would limit their business a lot.
I think they might try and push the sales of the actual separate chips instead, because companies are going to have to start rolling out chips, like chips for the processor and camera and things. So yeah, and I think they'll make more sales off that.
Amit brings up a good point by saying that, you know, these companies, yes, the phones themselves, you won't just be able to get a Nokia phone and that's your phone. I mean, I'm sure some people, like, peace out grandmas up there too. I mean, you rock. But grandmas, they're going to be happy with their flip phones. And so they're going to make it. And then the younger generation, our generation, is going to want something better. So this is what they get. And, you know, there's always going to be companies, you got to keep the balance, you know. I mean, I understand the future is coming up, and you're going to get the uprise in the newer tech, but then there's going to be those people who hate change and are going to stay in the older tech. So I don't really think it's going to impact them, like, dramatically, but I think it will impact them in a big way.
Because like lots of people use Apple and stuff nowadays, and it sounds like Apple's not in on this deal. It's like just Windows and Nokia, right? So or whatever the companies are. Motorola, I think you said.
Yeah, Motorola is the partner up with Google, and they're building this device.
Android.
Yeah, and
Oh, okay.
Android's going to be the boot running on this device. So, and hoping that our KitKat comes out on this too. Cause,
So it'll be interesting to see if like Apple users switch over for the upgradable technology, or if they still want to stay with their Apple devices that you can't upgrade.
yeah, it all depends. Apple people, they're kind of in the breed of their own, and Google people are in a breed of their own. I mean, really, with Google, everything is the future, and it can look like a pile of parts, but if it works and it does what you want it to work, does what you want it to do, excuse me, then it's gonna hit. With Apple, they don't really, at least in my point of view, they don't necessarily care how like up to date they are, I should say, but they care about making a good looking product. And the
Yeah, because like Apple, it rolls out new phones and software and everything every year. Like that's expected of Apple, so that's how they like make their revenue and stuff. But if Project ARA actually becomes big and important, then people may start abandoning Apple, and they'll just be left in the dust. So we'll see.
And then that's when Apple has to decide either to get in the game or to call it quits. You know, it's technology. There's always this variable, this unknown, and you just the excitement that you get when you find out. So,
Yash, what do you have to say about this? You've been kind of quiet.
I'm not sure about really. It's I haven't heard about Project Era for. I just heard about phone blocks a while ago, but not really familiar with it yet. None of us are actually.
but
So
I think
go ahead, Blake.
I know that you have a couple phones lying around that have just been, you know, passed down, used, kind of unnecessary.
Yeah.
Do you think that if Project Air came in, these phones wouldn't be there?
Yeah, probably. Red Project Era. Just have everything I need because I use one phone for music, one phone for games. I could just have both those in one phone. I customize it.
That sounds pretty cool.
Because you can upgrade the storage and stuff, I assume.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If anyone
I
wants,
would...
they can have a...
Go ahead.
no, I was gonna say if anyone wants, they could have like 128 gigs of storage in their phone. It's crazy, but they could if they wanted.
That'd probably cost a lot of money for that storage.
I mean, even nowadays, if you really wanted to, you could get like this 64 gig Samsung Galaxy S4, and you can put a 64 gig micro SD in it, and you will get what is that? 128
128
phone. So, you know, you can get a beefy phone now, but you have to buy all these extra parts. With Era, you just internal storage, boom, there you go, you're done, all set. So
Yeah. I think companies have been working towards this level of customization because, like, Samsung started using removable batteries and micro SD card slots so you can have customization. And, like, you could, right now you can switch, like, from an S4 you can switch to a bit bigger battery if you wanted to. So, yeah.
Yeah, this sounds like something I would totally use. Like, I'm totally on board with customization and everything. Like, nowadays, there's not that much that you can replace in phones. Like, you can change the color maybe, and not, like, little else. But I'm looking forward to, like, actually being able to, like, spend money and, like, put together a phone that I want and I could keep for a long time. That sounds really cool to me.
yeah, and with also bringing up a point, I read this somewhere. Somebody's argument was that software once, you know, a new version of software comes out, your old software is, you know, old. So with Project ARA, how it's always changing the parts, I would imagine, especially since they're teamed up with Google, that they'd get the newest version of Android probably quicker than some of the old manufacturers.
Does the phone come pre-installed
Well, yeah.
with an operating system or whatever? I don't know how that works. Or can you like replace the OS as you choose?
I mean,
I'm not sure how they're gonna do that.
yeah, I'll probably...
I'm not.
Go ahead, Nami.
I was just gonna say I'm not sure how they're gonna do that. If they're gonna like make it pre-installed and you can buy separate things. Like if you wanted, you could buy Windows OS or Ubuntu OS or Android, or it's just you can buy the hard drive and then download it separately from the internet. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
but that's
a good point. I think
possible.
Google, kudos to you right now, or shout out, whatever you want to call it. If you hear me, you make the phone, but since this phone is the new tech, you know, you're obviously marketing it out to the newer generation. So why not, you can't go pick this phone up in stores. I think it should be unlocked so that you can keep it with any carrier. And I think online,
Yeah.
you should, when you first buy your ARA, you should be able to go ahead, select your parts, select your board, and then maybe Google have a list of different softwares available that you can put it on. I mean, team up with the Linux dudes and team up with Windows. You know, that'll be interesting, but we'll see how that goes. And then somehow, some miracle, you can get Apple in there. You know, that would be interesting market.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be funny seeing.
So we've been
Apple
talking
in there.
a lot. So we've been talking a lot about the positives, but is there any downside to this besides like maybe certain companies like Radio Shack or whatever losing slight business? But is there anything else that's bad, would you say?
It's gonna be a thick phone. Like it's gonna be really big compared to the really thin phones of right now.
Do they have
So-
dimensions on like
No.
a website or something?
I don't think so. Like,
Well, then how? Where did you hear this?
well, it has to because there's a central part and then there's gonna be parts on it, so it's just gonna be thicker. And manufacturers right now try to make things as small as possible by putting the CPU and the RAM together and then layering the motherboard so that the camera fits exactly in it and things like that.
Okay. So yeah, that's true. They might have to make it a slightly bigger model to
Yeah.
be able to accommodate all the different parts.
Yeah,
Okay.
I agree. I think I get what Amit's coming from. You know, you have this phone, you have parts, and obviously you're gonna think stacking them up and making like a phone thick as a hamburger. But realistically, Google is not gonna release that. You know, I bet you right now where they're testing it, they're probably coming up with big, huge blocks. But hopefully, crossing my fingers here, when Google comes out with this device, they're going to go ahead and slim it down so where, okay, it may be as thick as a Windows phone, but I would expect it not to be as thick as like one of those, I don't know, what do you want to call it, Nokia 1030s back in the day where they're like 2 centimeters thick, you know, a brick, like 16 by 16 pixel screen. Those were the good days, people.
Yeah, I mean, the standard of like the thinness of technology nowadays is crazy. It's like people expect your phone to be able to easily like fit into your pocket and everything else, but it would be interesting to see how they are able to thin it down, I'd say.
Yeah, it's interesting topic. I don't know. Another thing for me that I see negative is the whole idea of parts, how they're designed to come off and come back on. So my only worry is that when you slide them in and out or you take parts, you can damage something, or
Yeah.
like parts are more exposed, I should say. Because when you look over here at the Apple iPhone 5S, I'm just pulling up the newest one, that thing is cased completely in aluminum, and it's a solid brick, you know, nothing's going to be going flying off. And then you go back in the days, and you have those antenna phones, which were interesting. Those antennas would constantly be snapping off because they're a moving part. So when you have the option of a moving part in this new phone, my only concern is that somehow, like, over the time, it could come loose and it could fall out, or you could damage it, or whatever.
That's a really valid concern, because, like, what happens if you drop your phone or something? Because people do that a lot. Like, you've always seen those iPhones with cracked screens and everything. But what happens if you drop a phone that has lots of different components to it? Do they go flying off in every direction?
Yeah.
Or something, you know?
And then you have to go, like, digging under people's feet, like, excuse me, gotta get my phone, excuse me!
He's like, yeah, there's my camera, and there's my internal storage or something.
Pardon me, you're stepping on my processor? Hey, that's my speaker, man! Give it back! You know, it's all... Yeah, that bugs me. But then again, you look, and you have this iPhone, and it's cased in aluminum, but then you go on Amazon, and there's pages and pages and pages of cases. I mean, so... Then again, with ARA, if they kind of keep it in a general shape, people could probably get cases. But then again, the whole idea of ARA is sliding in and out parts and changing it, so you can't really get a case completely guaranteed to fit on your phone, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But then again,
like,
coming in with new technology, throwing a neat twist at you guys here, 3D printing. You can print your own case. So, you know...
Yeah, that would be really cool.
Kudos to you nerds out there who want to take up building a case for your Project ARA. Love to send me one. 8201 Calavera Street. Go ahead. Thank you very much.
Yeah, sponsor us, you know. We'd love to shout out your products and stuff.
Yeah, you know, if you want to see us review something, send it our way. Send us a link up here on YouTube, personal message. Our website should be coming up soon, so you can find all of our contact details down there. And we're probably going to go in here and make like one of those, what do you call them, Amit? Like sponsor websites. You told me once. Crap. Mind fart. Like Indiegogo.
What?
That's what I was looking for. Indiegogo.
Oh,
Indiegogo.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Crowdfunding website.
crowdfunding. So fund us, keep us going, and shout out to all of our awesome people. You're the first ones. You're always going to be our favorites. Kudos to you.
Yeah. Here from the beginning. Stay here. We'll get better. We guarantee it.
Yeah.
And links to everything we're saying down in the description as well. If you want to learn more about Project ARA and stuff.
Totally.
Yeah.
So,
And
I guess kind of to wrap up this whole segment here, we've been going on for a little bit now. What, if you could only choose one thing about Project ARA, what would you say is like the thing that you're most excited about? I guess I'll throw it over to Yash first and see what he has to say.
Yeah, I just like customization and
Okay, but you have to choose one thing.
yeah,
One thing about this phone.
Customization.
No, one special block about the phone.
About I don't know. You mean like CPU or what?
Yeah, I don't know. Like, would you upgrade your RAM or storage or CPU or processor or whatever?
I just like having a high performance in a phone, and that's what I would do. And camera doesn't really matter to me, so.
Alrighty.
Okay.
That's cool. What about you, Amit? What are you, one thing that you're really excited for in this new idea?
I like the ability to keep upgrading your processor so that it's like you can have the powerhouse of every generation, and you don't have to keep changing your phone.
Yeah.
Yeah, and me too. Cameras doesn't matter as much to me. I would still include one, maybe not the highest one on the market, but yeah.
And then, Cliff, what are your thoughts?
So for me, I think the battery is the main selling point, at least for me, because having a battery that you could switch out like really quickly is really useful and stuff. Like if you lose battery like in an airport or something and there's no charging ports available, just switch the battery and you're good. So I think that's the most important thing, at least for me.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
For me, I think the whole, I think the board actually is going to be the most important part for me, because with this board, I would hope that Android or Google, Motorola, whoever's actually in charge of this whole organization will come out with different sizes. And so that's one thing I always hear from Apple users, is that Android phones are too big. Like, you can't fit them in your pocket. You know, they take up half your face. But anyways, the whole idea, if they could make boards any size so that maybe it would appeal to the smaller screen iPhone users coming over, or if you're one of those Oppo 9 people or Samsung Note 3 who wants a tablet phone here, you know, I'm surprised. I have a friend who has a Note 3 and I could barely fit it in my pocket, but hey, he loves it, so kudos to him. But just the board, I guess, I think, and that's what houses all the parts. So, you know, more slots on your board, more parts. So I think that would be the key for me.
Yep.
I think that's going to be it today. So let us know down wherever Google puts it nowadays. What do you think about Project ARA? What are your thoughts? What do you want to customize? What's the most important part to you? Are you all about the camera and want the DSLR quality and have that? Are you about the battery life with Cliff over here, you know? The whole idea, 7 days long battery charge, here I come. You know? Or are you here with Amit and Yash, who can pretty much go without a camera, but can have games that can beat any phone on the market? So it's the choices in technology. It's advancing, it's moving on, and I'm excited.
Yep. All right.
All right, so everybody, bye-bye. Thank you for joining us, and
subscribe if you liked it.
Subscribe.
Like, comment,
thumbs up if you liked it.
Give us Mondays.
Follow us on social network.
Yeah, all the links down below. Just follow us if you like.
Yep.
And we'll try to make these semi-consistently, hopefully.
Hopefully. And then send us your crap. You know, we love your crap. Make sure it's good crap. Don't actually send us crap. That would not be pleasant. So I guess everybody from here from Tech and Productions, we're signing off. Bye.
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 Bye.